goes. Just the way it goes. Degrees.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 20. Cannot believe we are made it this far already. 20 episodes. They go by like this. You know, it's already been about 4 months since I got started on this, and man, am I having a great time. And tonight it's going to be equally of a good time because I got some really awesome stuff to share with you. I'm glad that the weather is getting warm. It's getting nice. We got new albums coming out. Speaking of new albums, Jason Isbell, okay, he just came out with a brand new album with his band, the 400 Unit. Wow, a lot of people are digging on these guys, you know, whether if you enjoy them or not enjoy them, if you like good albums, this is, well, definitely worth checking out. I just yesterday listened to it. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the time. This is the band, the 400 Units, sixth album together. This is their sixth album together. Jason Isbell, if you count these albums, this would be his ninth album. Really, really good stuff. He's got a good sound. It's really, 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 I think a lot of people like to liken it to, you know, a classic. It's a classic sound. He's been doing it for a while, though. Okay. He started as a member of the Drive-By Truckers for 6 years, from 2001 to 2007. Kind of where you kind of get your start and you get your backbones and get going. Drive-By Truckers are a really, really good band with or without Jason Isbell. I do enjoy their music quite a bit. You can kind of see Jason Isbell's music kind of where that is. But he really, really, really is a good songwriter. Okay. This is kind of where he is known to, well, people enjoy his music, you know, it is his good songwriting. Okay. He's also played himself in Billions. He was a wedding guest in Deadwood. Looks like he's going to be in the new Scorsese movie. It sounds like he's trying his hand in a bunch of different things. But that being said, I definitely would give this new album a check out. The name of the album, okay, it's called Weather Vanes. Pretty cool album title, I think. You know, that being said, it was released yesterday, Friday, June 9th, and the songs are good, solid songs. Okay, good song structure. They set you in a mood, and that's kind of what our show is about today is about setting a mood, and the mood that we want to set today is the mood of summertime. You know, and when I think summertime, personally, this is just personally me, I think one of my favorites, one of my ultimate favorites, a guy whose catalog is so deep and so eclectic that I don't really think so many people know him besides some of the big hits. And I am talking about Bob Marley. And I'm also going to be talking about his band, the Wailers. Okay. Bob Marley has for many, many, many generations since he started, I would say, for many, many different time periods, for many, many musical styles, not just reggae. He has influenced lots of different styles. That's what's the one thing about Bob Marley is that we can't pigeonhole him because his importance is huge. And the band that he played behind him was equally huge. Um, the music is marked by mixing lots of different things, not just reggae. There's rock steady in there, ska, lots of different forms of music that I would say is what helped function and formulate the band Bob Marley and the Wailers. Bob Marley and the Wailers, unfortunately, the Wailers and Bob Marley ceased to exist after May 11th, 1981, when Bob passed away at the age of 36. But we're not here to talk about that dark time. We're here to talk about the positivity in the music. And that's what Bob was really, 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 really good at. Lots of just talent, just oozing with talent. Bob Marley, kind of for me, the Wailing Wailers is kind of where he got his start. But it's kind of when Bob Marley and the Wailers, that name kind of starts to kind of take foot. It's about 1973's Catch a Fire, which to me, this is a band that is behind him, who is, to me, it is equally as strong as the man himself. Okay. The music that is behind him, played by one Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer, Aston Family Man Barrett, Carly Barrett, Rita Marley, and Marcia Griffiths. Really, really good. All of them do what they're supposed to do. Bunny Wailer is amazing on the bongos, congas, and the vocals that they mix together. Peter Tosh was a great guitar player. His vocals are also good. Great solo career. But I like to really look into the rhythm section for the band. And it's a pair of brothers. It's Aston Barrett and Carlton Barrett, a bass player and drummer. To me, I believe they are the central sound of Bob Marley and the Wailers. I do believe that their bass and drum interplay together, it's legendary. You cannot think about this music and think about Bob Marley and the Wailers and not think about those guys and the impact that they had while playing in this band. And the impact to the music, starting with Catch a Fire. Lots of good songs on this. I like the last couple tracks, Kinky Reggae, No More Trouble, Midnight Ravers. Really, really great album. And the band just keeps going, Burnin', their next album. Everyone knows I Shot the Sheriff and Get Up, Stand Up. That's what comes from this album. I mean, the band is clicking on all cylinders. So the band is clicking on all cylinders, okay? So they keep going, and they're rocking, and they're rolling, and they're going through albums, okay? Natty Dread, amazing. You're like, oh, Natty Dread, I never heard of that album. You never heard No Lemon, No Cry, Lively Up Yourself? Classic tracks. Another really good album is the next one, Rastaman Vibration, one of my favorites, Roots Rock Reggae. If you have not listened to that song, please check it out. Crazy Baldhead, Awesome, War, Rat Race, Positive Vibration, really, really good stuff. Okay, going to set the mood for pretty much any kind of party you're having. Definitely a party where you're having, good music playing like Bob Marley. So check those out. And that coming as the band is coming more full force. One of my favorite albums that they released during this time period is Exodus, 1977. Okay, at this point, a lot of the Wailers are coming and going. The Barrett brothers are still playing. At this point, Junior Marvin is playing the guitars. Tyrone Downey, Alvin Seco Patterson. A lot of really players are making. Seco is probably one of my favorite members. His percussion on especially Roots Rock Reggae, definitely worth the time of day, worth you checking out, worth you seeing what it's all about, because that's what music is, and that's why we're here for. We're here to spread the music and listen to new different stuff. As I always said, that's what's cool about this show, is you could turn the dial any which way to any kind of sound, and you're going to find a sound that you enjoy, or you can listen to all of them and really take it all in, and you're going to even have a better time. It's kind of the way I like to see it. Bob Marley and the Wailers are a band that I believe everyone knows Bob Marley, but I can't say it enough. You need to know the other players in the band. Um, Exodus is a good place to start if you're looking to get started with them. Kaya, 78, good album. Survival, 79. Uprising, 1980. He's starting to, now, Could You Be Loved, Redemption Song, Coming In From the Cold, Real Situation, I think is a great album. And at this point, I mean, he's not even in his mid 30s yet when this album is released in 80. It's sad. I can't help but bring on, and that's the thing about Bob Marley is that, him passing away in 81, Uprising was his last album. It's the album that kind of, you get to go out with. And it's not a sad album. All these songs aren't sad. They're about finding, well, as the song says, redemption, and no place better to find redemption than when you're out in the sun. And I think Bob Marley works really, really well that way. Lots of good tracks. If you like, a lot of people from what I heard liked, what's the way I'm looking to say this? A lot of people like to kind of, sometimes turn off that heavy rock. And what I found to be very, very cool was that not only did they decide to turn off the heavy rock, they decided to, tune in to stuff like Bob Marley, which is really cool. I can't stop without talking about I've met a member of Bob Marley and the Wailers, a man right from Gary, Indiana here. He's sitting in the chair right there. His name, really, really, really awesome, is Donald Kinsey. Okay. And he was born in Gary, Indiana. And you're saying he was, from all indications, one of the only people who was not from Jamaica who was in Bob Marley's band and to be a guitar player. He was also played with Peter Tosh. I mentioned him earlier. He got started in Bob Marley and the Wailers. And by this point, him and Bunny Wailer had left. But Kinsey now is a Chicago, playing the Chicago Blues. His dad, Big Daddy Kinsey, really awesome. But his band, the Kinsey Report, you can catch them up. And he still does some Bob Marley and stuff like that. Also played with Albert King, Burning Spear. But to say that you got to stand on the same stage with Bob Marley, I always deem that to be pretty, pretty cool. But Bob Marley wasn't really, and the Wailers, weren't really the only ones who had that awesome sound back then. Another group from the same time period, Toots and the Maytals. Oh, I'll never forget getting my first Toots and the Maytals CD when I was a freshman, about 2001, I want to say. It was a best of, but had the songs that I really, at that point, I heard them at a party there at school, and I said to myself, you know what? I want to hear more of these tracks. And they never really disappointed when I heard some of this stuff. Pomps and Pride, I love that song. 5446 was my number. Monkey Man, Sweet and Dandy, just really, 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 really good stuff. I got the opportunity to see this band when they played Rothbury recently. It was good. They put on, it's not the same three guys anymore. But Toots Hibbert, really, it's not the same guys when I saw them. I meant Toots Hibbert, unfortunately, also passed away just a couple of years ago, September 2020. Up until the end, he was really, really, really rocking and doing a good job out there touring, playing with Willie Nelson and playing with different artists. He could play a lot of instruments, which is really kind of what makes them, I think, also stand just the test of time just as much as, as Bob Marley and the Wailers. But Toots and the Maytals, though, is really worth checking out. Got a really good live album. You could definitely always hear it. I like kind of in the album title there how it's a couple of records. You don't see that too much. But check out Toots and the Maytals, especially if you like stuff like Bob Marley. I think Toots needs to be just as known as Bob, and they had some interactions together too, because they both were from the same places, and it's cool. Definitely check that out. I would do that. Next up, today actually is the June 10th is the anniversary of "Life's Been Good" by Joe Walsh. Oh, can you believe it? This album, I believe, if I'm not, this song is, well, it's 47 years old, if my math is done me correctly here for you. "Life's Been Good" is a classic. It's got that reggae feel, which a lot of artists around that time were taking in because of the influence of Bob Marley. It's on his album, but seriously, folks, it also appeared on in the movie FM. Okay. It's a satirical song. I always get that wrong. Satire, satirical. It's a satirical song that I think the lyrics for me, I think I first heard the song when I was 10, 11, and you immediately get brought into the song by Joe's enunciation in his voice, and it's good. It's good anytime to hear it, but in the summertime, if you're outside, even if you have to do yard work, it puts you in that good summertime mood. Um, it's a look into rock is pretty much what it is. Like a person who is just having a way too good of a time. Um, it's got, like I said, there's irony, lots of inside jokes. Um, It was actually made after Walsh had joined the Eagles, which I find to be pretty cool. You don't usually hear, once a guy joins another bigger art band, that he's cranking out cool songs like this. But I think it's a must here. Um, and that's Joe Walsh's "Life's Been Good." Check it out. Another good one is 10cc's "Dreadlock Holiday." Where was the first time I ever heard this song? The very first time I ever heard this song was in a movie titled Snatch. Really good movie. And my buddy played it, and I asked him to play it again, and I asked him to play it again, and I asked him to play it again. And the song is about, the real life events of band member 10cc Eric Stewart and the Moody Blues vocalist Jason Hayward. They were in Barbados, had way too much to drink, and were walking along the beach. And this is kind of along the tale that they tell. I find it to be really awesome. I find it to be a really good time. What I like about it is, again, both "Life's Been Good" and this song, it's like they're telling you a story that, well, you definitely want to hear because, well, you like good stuff if you're out there in the sun and want to listen to good music. Um, all of these bands that kind of tune into this sunny time weather. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that could do this kind of music. I mean, it doesn't just have to be this. I could be outside. The other day, I was outside cutting the lawn, and I was listening to, the Ramones. Or I was outside cutting the lawn 2 weeks ago, and I was listening to something, a little bit more heavier, like Clutch. You switch it up, and that's what we like to do here at the Hookup. Check out these songs. Check out "Dreadlock Holiday." Check out "Life's Been Good." Check out Bob Marley, some of those tracks I mentioned. Check out Toots and the Maytals. Really awesome, really good stuff. This weekend, Dead and Company, which, well, they're always usually in town, but sadly no more. This will be the last time that they will be making their stop into, well, Wrigley Field. And last night, the show, talked to some people who went over the set list. Well, let me just get started by saying this set list was a good time, and it might be enough that I'm sure you have already gotten your tickets because they're sold out or close to sold out from what I hear. You can, listen to this awesome set list and just look up these songs and put this together in your head. It's well, let's go through it and let's not waste any time. "Playing in the Band" is one of my favorite songs, and this is what they start. This is one of my favorite Dead songs. It's actually from a Bob Weir album. It's a Bob Weir song. But this song, man, jams. Okay. And to go into "Deal," a Jerry Garcia cover. So they're doing a Bob Weir song and a Jerry Garcia cover. "Tennessee Jed," Great, great Grateful Dead song. Great song. Then they go into a Tampa Red cover, It Hurts Me Too. Then they do Ramble on Rose, into Brown Eyed Woman, into Crazy Fingers, which is the tour debut. Okay, and another tour debut. They end set one with a cover of Martha Reeves and the Vandals, Dancing in the Street. Set one sounded like a good time. From the person who went to the show said that it was packed and it looked like everyone was having a good time. That's one thing that I have not yet done yet that is on my list to do, and that is to see a concert at Wrigley Field. Seen plenty of ball games there, have not seen a concert there. I'm curious to hear what the sound is there. So if you're listening to this, and let me know on the Twitter how the sound is over at Wrigley Field, and is it worth checking out? Because the Pretenders in the summer are later coming with Guns N' Roses. Never seen Guns N' Roses, and well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see them. I'm not sure, but that was just the first band that came to my head. There's a lot of other bands coming at Wrigley Field, as we've talked about on our concert edition, you know. But that being said, they go into set two. Now, I don't know how you feel about John Mayer being part of the band. He does a really good job. He's a really good guitar player. His singing, it's okay. You know, I think sometimes his singing could be better, and sometimes, you know, well, just like anything else, his singing probably, he knows that it's well, it's always a work in progress, especially with the Dead, but he does a good job. I do not want to down John Mayer, because I do enjoy John Mayer, and I believe he has added really, really, really great things to Dead and Company. And, you know, everyone, you know, it's sad that they have to move on. I mean, my favorite member, Bill Kritzman, is not on this tour. Jay Lane, who's played with Primus, Rat Dog, which is another band that Bob Weir was a part of. That being said, I really believe that well, the band is still sounds good. You know, set two, Sugar-E. These first two songs, Sugar-E and Estimated Profit, are, well, without a doubt, some of my favorites. And then the other one, verse one, they did, and then Lady with a Fan. I mean, Bob Weir is starting this off with some really, really good stuff here. I mean, he sings then Terrapin Station. And then they do every single concert, they do the drums and the space. Okay, which if you're out there in the summertime, because that's what we're here about, even if you're out again, you have some people over and just listen to a bunch of drums and space, and it'll be quite the experience. But that being said, the band is kicking, man. I mean, Stella Blue, Sugar Magnolia, and then they go through these last three, Scarlet Begonias, which is an amazing song, Sunshine Daydream, and they end with the Encore's U.S. Blues, which I got to see on 4th of July at Rothbury, which was a really, really good time. That's when they were just known as the Dead. But again, one more show tonight. Check that out. I believe that if you are a fan of this band, I think that checking them out at least one time on this final tour, it's, well, I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to be something that I definitely think that you should definitely go. But that being said, you like the set list. The set list is good. Being outside and listening to good music is always something that you want to really, really, really do. And I always want to do it. Like at night, sometimes I'll go for just a long hour walk, switch up the set list. All in the 20 episodes that we've done so far, a lot of those songs I have sat and I have listened on my walk. And it puts you in lots and lots of different mind spaces, you know, lots of different things going on, people going through different stuff. If you hear a song that maybe helps you go through a certain different time period, well, maybe spread that song out to somebody. That's kind of why I'm here, and I love doing this. I love sharing my ideas with you, and I love when you share your ideas with me. I love nothing more than that. That's why I love having guests on the show. As you can see tonight, I have no problem with riding solo, but sharing music with people, because as soon as I get off of here, I've got plans. And of course, music will be talked about, as I'm sure it will be with you, even no matter what you're doing, no matter if you're out to dinner or you're at a ball game or whatever in this beautiful weather, you're sharing good music. Um, Recently, I have been doing some deep in dives on some albums. Um, the I've done 4 so far. I've done First one I did was Metallica's newest one, 72 Seasons. Then I did Depeche Mode's Violator. Then I did Foo Fighters Here, um, but Here We Are, which was a really good in-depth album that you could hear by a band who was overcoming some things, which to me, I think a band that overcomes some things is definitely a band that should be worth your ear and everyone's ear. But check this album out. I can't get the song The Teacher out of my head. It's 10 minutes long. Don't really hear long songs like that by the Foo Fighters. Really worth it. Really worth it in depth. Yesterday, I released a new one, Outcast, Aquemini. This album means quite a lot to me. Lot of good tracks. Again, it's kind of like the Bob Marley and the Toots and the reggae. It's not just for, a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to listen to that. It's rap. It's deeper. It's bigger than that. They use a live band. It's worth it in its weight, and that's why I like going through this stuff. And if you ever have any ideas or want me to go through an album, go ahead and share that with me. I never ever have any problems sharing anything with you guys. I love sharing music. I love sharing ideas. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up this next week. Okay. I know we have a couple, we have from what I gather, and I'm good, we got 2 episodes coming this week, 2 special episodes that are going to focus on songs. So please keep tuned in for those. If my mind serves me correctly, I'm going to try to have one of them will be Tuesday, will be released in the afternoon, late afternoon, right before evening, right before I believe an awesome new draft episode will be dropping. And then we will be getting together this Thursday with a couple. Well, I don't want to let any of the secrets out of the bag, but it's going to be a really special episode that we're putting some really good stuff into. And I really I can't say it enough, enjoy doing this show. I love spreading the word of music. I love talking with you guys. I love it. It feels good to be able to, if you're having a bad day, to just come on here and be able to talk, to talk. And that's why we do. A lot of people I see out there make jokes about people who like to, spread their what's the word I'm looking for? Looking to spread their ideas, because we're all looking to share and become one and learning more about new music. And that's why we are always here. Again, today, go back and check out Bob Marley, Roots Rock Reggae. That's one that I think right now you should just turn on super loud, listen to all the awesome percussion. It's a really good time. Check out Toots and the Maytals, Pomps and Pride. Check out that Dreadlock Holiday. I know you've heard Life's Been Good. If you have not, check that out. Check out the new Jason Isbell. If you're making it out to the Dead and Company, let me know how it is. Let me know how that sound is at Wrigley Field. All right. This was a great 20th episode. As you can see, about 8 minutes in, I had to change my shirt because, the power went out on a very beautiful day here. Don't understand why. But check out the Sadistic Penguin Studios website. All of our awesome stuff is on there. Check out the Hookup On Music Twitter account, always posting cool stuff. I am the Sugar Baggy. AKA Tony, AKA the Rock and Roll Doctor. Appreciate being here. This podcast is available on Apple and Spotify. Check out those shows this week. Go ahead for me and go back and check out those CD reviews. Check out my awesome Penguin Partners, awesome shows. Like I said, the draft episode coming up this week. I know we're going to have a brand new film episode. I believe M. Night Shyamalan is the topic. My really quick off the top of my head, watch M. Night Shyamalan's Old. I don't know. I like it. It's cheesy. It's a good time. Check that out. Check out everything we got going on. And really, 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 really soon, we will be back with more goodies. And until that time, everybody, you have a good rest of your week, and I'll talk to you, well, next week. Next week.